It is a misty and surreal Halloween setting at Veterans Stadium for the Cowboys and the Eagles. The winner will advance into a first-place tie with the New York Giants in the NFC East, as the Giants were dropped already today by the New York Jets. And hi, everybody. Jim Nantz along with Randy Cross. We're glad to have you with us for this game. And, you know, Randy, these two teams appear to be headed in opposite directions. The Cowboys have won 4 straight, while the Eagles have lost 2 in a row. How can Philadelphia compete with the Super Bowl champs today? Well,
the keys for the Philadelphia Eagles are to take advantage of every opportunity they get offensively, and defensively just going to have to stop the run in Emmitt Smith, because Dallas in these weather conditions will run the ball at least 45 times.
Let's talk about some of the headliners in this game. First, Ken O'Brien will start at quarterback for Philadelphia. What about that?
Look for him to make something happen here. Rich Kotite said, hey, bad time to get conservative. He's going to open this offense up and try to make things happen.
They come off a bye week, and during the 2 weeks since they last played, they've signed James Lofton, and Richie Kotite told us he'll start this game. For the Cowboys, Charles Haley with a nagging back injury. Jimmy Johnson said it'll probably plague him all season long, but he'll see action. And Michael Irvin, what a streak he's on right now, Randy.
Well, you saw in the NFL today that all 28 general managers in the NFL said that this is the best wide receiver in football. And, you know, can you argue with him? I don't think so.
Boy, it's hard to argue with that, Randy. Look at the weather. Blustery almost. 47 degrees, temperature dropping, precipitation in the air for about the last 2 hours. And what kind of factor will that be here?
And that precipitation isn't too far away from turning to flakes. It's cold enough around here, but the teams, the running backs, the wide receivers, the quarterbacks have got to hold on to the ball. Be very aware of the fact that Philadelphia fumbles a lot, and Dallas has worked all week long on creating more turnovers.
Eddie Murray and the Cowboys will kick. Cowboys in the blue jerseys. This used to be one of the hot rivalries in the NFL. Does it still have the same pizzazz?
I think it's a little bit more of a one-sided rivalry. Philadelphia has a strong dislike, trending toward hate, I think, for Dallas, but Dallas is pretty ambivalent. They've got the attitude right now in Dallas going that, hey, everybody hates Dallas and everybody wants to win against us.
Seth Joyner getting pumped before this game, and they'll have to set it back on the tee. The Eagles have back deep Vi Sikahema and Vaughn Hebron, rookie running back from Virginia Tech.
And right off the top here, let's keep an eye on these coverage teams of the Dallas Cowboys. Between Gant and Billy Bates, the whole package, these guys go crazy, and this is where you could see a quick turnover.
Murray's kick, not very deep. Sikahema from the 4. Oh, and he is collared at the 16 by James Washington. Quick celebration for the Cowboys. Here's Ken O'Brien, 10 years the quarterback for the New York Jets. Signed just a couple of weeks ago. The offensive line set up with Broderick Thompson, who started his career with the Cowboys. Alexander's the anchor at center. Herschel Walker played 4 years for the Cowboys. Heath Sherman, James Lofton, Calvin Williams, and Mark Bavaro is the tight end. Eagles start out from their 16. Herschel Walker plowing ahead for about 3. Russell Maryland hit him first. The Dallas Cowboys defense has allowed only 1 touchdown in the last 28 possessions by the opposition. Haley, Maryland, Casillas, and Tolbert. And Ken Norton's in the middle, flanked by the rookie Darren Smith and Dixon Edwards. And the Dallas secondary, according to Butch Davis, the coordinator, playing the best of the Dallas defense. 2nd down and 7. Walker lined up at the bottom of your screen as the receiver. O'Brien threw it away. Randall Cunningham patrolling that Philadelphia sideline today. expected to be out of action for another 6 to 8 weeks.
And something the Philadelphia Eagles have to do is almost take a book out of Cunningham's type of an approach to the game. He makes things happen, and the secret for this offense and Ken O'Brien is to make things happen, whether it's a halfback option pass, whether it's a reverse, whatever it takes. That's what they have to break out here offensively. They cannot be conservative against the speed defense of Dallas.
It is 3rd and 7. Walker for the first down. Wrapped up by Darren Smith, but the Eagles move the chain.
And the key group to watch for the Eagles is going to be this offensive line. They've got to protect Kenny O'Brien. He's only been in the offense a couple of weeks. They gave him the time. He's got the receivers.
This Philadelphia offense has not scored a touchdown in the first quarter since the season opener against the Phoenix Cardinals. First down from the 27. Walker with a burst. Near another first.
Dallas showing Philadelphia a pressure defense. Check out the front that they're looking at. Everybody's covered up front, and watch how quick things pop clear right up the middle. A quick trap by Hallstrom, or as quick as a trap a guy 6'5", 320 is going to make. But Walker isn't even in touch until he's 5 yards down the field.
Did it appear to be almost a mix-up on the exchange between O'Brien and Walker? They were a little bit snug.
It's a mix-up when they drop it. It's just sort of a mishap when they don't.
2nd down and 1. Short drop, first down. That's James Walker. 3rd all-time receiver in the NFL, #1 in receiving yards.
And notice something right here. For a receiver that's allegedly lost a few steps, they're giving James Lofton 8 to 9 yards. If Kenny O'Brien can look out and see that on most every play, you're going to see Lofton catch a lot of balls.
James Lofton played a couple of weeks with the Rams and saw little action. Caught only 1 ball when he was with the Rams. Then they cut him. The Eagles just re-signed him. 1st and 10. And Walker for about 3. Ken Norton got him first. This Dallas defense torn apart in the season opener against the Redskins, but since that time they've allowed only 4 touchdowns in the last 5 games.
If you watch this defense the better part of this season, everybody's moved the ball on the Dallas Cowboys. What they haven't done is when they get in the plus territory, 20 yards in, you don't score against this defense. It gets extremely tough.
2nd and 6. Walker moves it into Dallas territory, but it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Eagles. Charles Haley on the tackle. Herschel Walker said a couple of weeks ago, I want to be selfish on this matter. I want to see us run the football more. I want like a 95-to-5 ratio run to pass.
Well, he was sort of begging for the wishbone, if that's what he wants, 95-to-5.
Yeah, really.
That's also begging for a 4-12 record in the NFL. You can't run like that. And if Herschel gets 15 carries today, it's a good sign. If he gets more than 20, I think Philadelphia is probably looking at winning the game.
3rd down and 4. Shuffle pass. That's Heath Sherman, and I think he does. He has the first down. Got it near the 44.
Well, we talked about the Eagles trying something a little bit different today, opening things up and not being afraid to be a little adventurous. O'Brien does a nice job of selling this play. Heath Sherman disguises himself in among all those giant trees up there up front, and nice call, nice execution by O'Brien, and just sort of goes to show you Richie Kotite's going to be willing to do a lot of things to get this win.
Another new set of downs from the Dallas 44. Play action in the rollout for O'Brien. Going long. Williams had it for a moment at the 2. Larry Brown on the coverage.
A lot of contact, a lot of bumping, and through all that, Williams still had an opportunity to catch that ball. Look right at the end. They're bumping, they're moving. He's got two hands. Nobody got a hand on it. He just could not get the handle on the ball. Watch this play fake. Little fake by Herschel, gets a block on Russell Maryland, and that's what set that pass up. And Kenny O'Brien takes one of the chops from Casillas.
James Joseph in motion, 2nd down and 10. And O'Brien throws it away. Joseph was in the area.
And that was a smart play by Kenny O'Brien, because that Dallas defense reacted very quickly to that screen, and that's something that Philadelphia's got to always keep in mind is the quickness, the speed, and the reaction time of this Dallas defense. If you're going to make plays, you've got to count on trying to use a play action and getting a quick reaction from them, or attacking them straight at them and straight away, because this is a team that can catch you sideline to sideline.
This is the 11th play of the opening drive. 3rd down and 10. Across the middle, almost intercepted by Larry Brown.
That's an example there, Jim, of a little communication problem. You see O'Brien pointing down the field at James Lofton, and Lofton stopped his route, and there was no one really in the area by the time O'Brien threw the ball, and that's the hazards of having a new quarterback, a new wide receiver, and a group of skilled people not used to working with each other.
Jeff Feagles had pressure, but a good boot. Bounces at the 2 and goes out of bounds inside of the 5. Will spot it at the 2. 42 yards. Jeff Feagles, who punted for 3 years at the University of Miami for Coach Jimmy Johnson. He backs up the Cowboys on their first possession. The #1 offense in pro football, directed by Troy Aikman. On the line, they've started every game this year. Tuanay and Newton, Stepnoski, Gogan, and Williams. Emmitt Smith. Cowboys are 4-0 with Smith back in the lineup. Irvin and Harper, what a dangerous pair. And there's Jimmy Johnson. The Cowboys first down from the 2. Emmitt Smith. Ooh, did he take a hit? Rich Miano backed him up at the 9-yard line, but a 7-yard run by Emmitt Smith. The Philadelphia Eagle defense allowing 22 points a game. Defensive line with Simmons, Renfro, Harmon, and Flores. Only 6 sacks by this unit in the entire season. That's low in the league. Evans, Thomas, and Joyner, the linebackers. Eric Allen, a 3-time Pro Bowler, has returned 2 passes for touchdowns this year. On 2nd and 2, Smith picks up the first down out to the 15.
And that was just a pure job by the Dallas offensive line of moving the entire front 7 of Philadelphia about 3 or 4 yards off the ball. And you saw in that first play, Rich Miano making a great hit. Well, if Philadelphia's safeties, Miano and Hopkins, are making great hits 8-7 yards down the field, Emmitt Smith could run for 200 yards against this defense. The defensive linemen up front have got to stop the run and stuff this line.
First down, 10. 3rd straight carry. Smith again into the secondary, breaks away and dragged down by Eric Allen. 26 yards, the longest rush of the season by the Dallas Cowboys.
And this illustrates something that people have been talking about Dallas. That Dallas's defense is not tackling properly. Well, you get a great lead block by Johnston on Byron Evans. Bad tackle, bad tackle, bad tackle, and necktie by Allen just to save things. And that would have been a long touchdown run for Emmitt Smith if not for the shirt collar right here by Allen.
3 carries, 38 yards for Smith. Now Aikman to the air on first down. No, he'll tuck it under and get about 3. Ooh, flag comes in. They got Ben Smith with a late hit. And Irvin comes to the defense along with Harper of his quarterback.
And that's how you get a rivalry that might not have the fire it had a few years ago. That'll fire this rivalry back up. Whacking your quarterback that far out of bounds. That That was not a late hit. That was not a real penalty type offense. That was a legitimate cheap shot.
And that will move the Cowboys into Philadelphia territory. Johnny Greer is the referee today.
Now let's check this out. At times defensive players say, well, gee, I couldn't quite stop. Well, I got to tell you what, Mr. Smith, he's 4 yards out of bounds. You launch your body at that angle, you got one thing in mind, and that's exactly what you did. You deserve 15 yards, and that's the kind of hit on a marquee player like Troy Aikman that could draw a fine.
So the Cowboys first down from the 41. Smith off left tackle, ridden down by William Thomas. Smith has rushed for 100 yards in the last 2 encounters against the Eagles.
And Dallas will keep pounding the run as long as they can, because, you know, Philadelphia at this point is trying to take the wide receivers away. And Ben Smith is the gentleman who got that last personal foul, and he's also the guy getting a start today because the Eagles feel they need his physical nature against the big wide receivers of the Dallas Cowboys.
2nd and 6. Play action. And Aikman is sacked by Andy Harmon. Only the 7th sack of the season by Philadelphia.
Good team defense by the Philadelphia Eagles, because you got the guys up front that are not quitting. Andy Harmon is being blocked initially by Williams. He's handed over to Gogan. He gets the sack, and why does he get it? Because Aikman can't throw a timing pattern. You've got the defensive backs doing their coverage. Here's Smith working on Alvin Harper, and Troy Aikman's got nowhere to go.
So the Cowboys now with 3rd and 10 from the Philly 41. That ball is a fumble. Hopkins had it for a moment. Novacek recovered it. And that is near the 31, near the first down.
You saw Jimmy Johnson. He was holding his breath. And on that side, Richie Kotite he had a pretty good angle. He's trying to figure out how in the heck could my guys not come up with this ball. This is a catch. This is a fumble. Now watch the scramble. Novacek wants to know where it is. Hopkins says he has it. Novacek takes it away.
Byron Evans jarred it loose as Rich Kotite looks on. They'll bring out the chain gang. Wait, wait a minute, he signaled first down. For a first down, and it's clearly shy of it.
That's the old never mind.
I think he had 6 of his comrades say, wait a minute here.
One more time. Watch Novacek on this play and what he does. Besides fumble, watch his second effort going back after the ball. The ball squirts loose, and he gets it. Bad job of fumbling, good job of hustling by Jay Novacek.
A catch and a recovery by Jay Novacek. And it's 4th and about a foot to go. The Cowboys will go for it.
You got a big physical right side of this offensive line with Eric Williams and Kevin Gogan. And you add to that a bruising lead blocker like Daryl Johnston. That's where they got to go.
Emmitt Smith first down and all the way to the 23. John Giesick with a lead block for 9 yards by Smith.
You talk about that right side, and that's where they like to go. When things get tough, they stay behind the meat. There's Gogan at tight end. The nice job by Novacek coming in motion, getting his block. Daryl Johnston always gets good blocks on the outside as a lead blocker, and that's just a classic lead play off tackle. And when you got that kind of bulk, especially at tight end with Kevin Gogan moving in there and Giesick going to guard, you know, how do you pass it up?
They've got 2 tight ends on first down. And that pass intended for Michael Irvin, who wanted interference.
Michael, I believe, has a bit of a call here. He was held right at the end of that pass, right at the end of that play. He was grabbed by the jersey. But, you know, that's part of the deal, too. That's part of Michael's game. He likes to get into the defenders' heads. He wants to get into the officials' heads. He always wants to be considered the guy that's being wrong, so he'll get that break. But he's a guy, and along with Jerry Rice, that uses the push-off as an offensive receiver as good as anybody in the league.
2nd and 10. Smith to the 17. Tackled by Wes Hopkins. Every time Smith runs the football, someone in the secondary stops him.
That's what Wes Hopkins told us the other day. He said, you know, I love big hits and I want to set the tone for this game, but if you see me making a lot of tackles and you see me hitting Emmitt Smith a lot, looks good in the stats, but it's not a good sign for me.
Dallas driving on its first possession. They have 3rd and 4 from the Philadelphia 17. Aikman flushed out of the pocket, throws on the run, out of bounds.
And that's just what you want Troy Aikman to do if you're a defense. You want him not being able to throw the quick timing patterns. You want him looking down the field, and you want him to take as long as possible to get rid of the ball, because that gives you a better chance, A, to get to him, and B, that he'll throw one up so you can get him, because he does not make many mistakes.
So field goal try coming up from Eddie Murray. This will be a 35-yard attempt.
No one's missed a field goal or an extra point this year against Philadelphia yet.
And that stat holds true. 3-0 Dallas. Murray from 35 yards.
And Bud Carson's defense for the Eagles did a good job of sort of doing what Jimmy Johnson's defense does. Got down in that plus zone, that red zone, and they stopped the Dallas Cowboys. If they can hold the Cowboys to field goals, they can give their offense a chance to get into the rhythm of the game.
Well, again, as we said at the top, the winner will move into a tie with the Giants in the NFC East for first. Did that Giants loss surprise you?
It sort of surprised me that the Giants offense was throttled so effectively. They got down to the 1-yard line 2 times early and couldn't get a touchdown. A great hit by Ronnie Lott on sort of a slip by Tillman that resulted in a fumble. Really was probably the critical play early in that game.
You know, this Philadelphia team so decimated by injury. The attitude in Philadelphia is one of apathy and really resignation. It's as though the fans have given up on this season. They're 4-2, but do you sense that yourself?
You'd swear you were in Cincinnati and your team hadn't won a game and then things were looking bad. I mean, this is a city that's been tough on this team, but I tell you, there isn't a single person in these green uniforms that have given up. This is a team that is really still behind Richie Kotite and believes they still have a shot at the playoffs.
Dallas with 12 plays, 81 yards to set up the field goal. Zakahema will down it and bring back out the Eagles, who moved the football pretty successfully the first time they had it, moved it into Dallas territory.
Well, as you saw from that bruising first series by the Dallas Cowboys, we mentioned it in the very beginning of the game, this offense for Philadelphia has to take advantage of every possession it gets, because Dallas is going to have what they had as a game plan all day long, all night long, whatever. They're going to pound the ball and eat up time on the clock.
David Alexander making his 83rd straight start, longest on the team. He says, we're not about to abandon this season. We all realize that 9-7 will get you into the playoffs, and by then we might have Randall back. Sherman out to the 24-yard line. Larry Brown cut him under.
From an offensive standpoint, though, it was a saving tackle by Brown to stop for more yards being given up, but it was a great job by Sherman of keeping everything going forward. He was cut down on the tackle, but he picked up 3 more yards just with his momentum and, I guess, flight maybe be the term you want to use.
He did set sail. 2nd and 5. Herschel's about a yard shy of the 30-yard line where they need to get to for the first down. Tony Casillas brought him down.
Didn't get much on that play, but that is the way you want to attack this Dallas defense. You have not got a chance of running sideline to sideline with these guys. Jimmy Johnson predicates his entire system, offense, defense, and special teams, on speed, and Herschel Walker needs to be running straight ahead.
3rd and 1, and Lester Holmes is in the backfield for the Eagles. The rookie guard. Youth formation. He throws the lead block, and Walker, I don't think he got it. Jim Jeffcoat was in there for Dallas. Ball has to touch the 30-yard line. Let's see where they spot it.
From that spot with the right foot right underneath it. The foot's on the line, but the ball isn't. I don't think they got it.
How about Lester Holmes in the backfield?
Well, the main reason that Rich Kotite wants to do that is he wants that extra power. He knows Dallas is not a big defense. You can go at him, but if you're going to use the power, Herschel, run behind the power. Herschel cut it back to the right side and didn't go behind all that big heavy load he had in front of him.
Eagles with a driving boot to Williams at the 30. Kevin Williams shakes one tackler and steps out at the 40. So Dallas set up with good field position this time. 41-yard punt, 10-yard return. We'd like to welcome those of you who've been watching Tampa Bay and Atlanta. The Bucks hold on for their second victory of the season, 31-24. Jim Nantz along with Randy Cross at Veterans Stadium. There is a flag on the field on that special teams play. The Cowboys lead 3-0. Dallas on its first possession started at its own 2 and drove 81 yards to set up an Eddie Murray 35-yard field goal.
And the indication is the penalty will be against Dallas, which means Eagles will get the first down and retain possession, if that is indeed true. I love these official debates they have on these penalties like this. They bring guys from all over the field to decide them.
Personal foul against both teams, and the referee, Mike, is out. Johnny Greer, the referee in this game today.
And those personal fouls offset. It was ruled the fouls happened after the kick. So the possessions had changed, and those sort of offset, and the ball will go back to Dallas.
So the Cowboys will have it near their own 40, leading 3-0 in the first. They have already yielded 2 of the biggest 3 rushing performances of the season. Lewis Tillman and Reggie Brooks both ran wild against this Eagles defense. From the early games today, the Packers won their 3rd straight. Atlanta could not carry the momentum over from its win against the Saints. Miami took out Kansas City. Indianapolis by a field goal over New England. And the Jets dropped the Giants. Aikman play action, threatening to go long, but no, he's sacked for the 2nd time. And it's Andy Harmon again.
We got the tempers are going right now. The Dallas offensive line is not used to having Troy Aikman 1 dropped and 2 abused, and he was abused on the sideline by Ben Smith, and he's been dropped for sacks so far twice. There was no infraction. That goes under the boys will be boys category, and was not a penalty. But watch Harmon, 91. This is an effort sack. Grinding, gets down there around the ankles and gets himself his 2nd sack of the day. And that's the kind of defensive tackle that Harmon is. He was playing end earlier in the year, but the tackle position is where he belongs, where he can do that kind of blue-collar work.
2nd down, 17. Smith. Another run picking up easy yardage. Clyde Simmons brought him down after a rush of about 8.
You know, normal running backs can't do some of the things like Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, Thurman Thomas, these guys do. You saw Emmitt on that play go to his left full speed, suddenly drop it right back into neutral, and by the time he sees a hole, he's back into 5th gear again, going full speed. So, you know, if you're going to stop Emmitt Smith, you've got to stop him at the line of scrimmage before his acceleration starts.
3rd and 9. 3 receivers in for the Cowboys. Kevin Williams has joined the group. And that was thrown to Williams too high.
And right now, the passing game of the Dallas Cowboys is just a little bit off. 1, there's good coverage, and 2, Troy Aikman was a little high on that one, and some of the passes have been behind, above, and beyond some of the receivers. So credit the Philadelphia defense for so far a good job on the pass defense. They've got to work on the run defense.
Sikahema waiting to return John Jett's punt. He has the mist at his back. And that goes out of bounds near the 30. 39-yard punt. And we'll enjoy a little Halloween sound as we take you to commercial. First quarter, and the Cowboys lead 3-0.
And while you're away, there's Jimmy Johnson doing a little lobbying, trying to plead his case early.
First down for the Eagles with 1:12 to go first quarter. Dallas leads 3-0. Crossing pattern. Lofton takes a blow from Thomas Everett, but picks up 12.
And a nice job by Ken O'Brien anticipating Lofton coming open. And, you know, this is what comes under the category of that's why you make the big bucks, because you concentrate, you make the catch, and you get that shot. It was a combination of a shoulder and a helmet to the face and upper body of James Lofton by Everett.
Lofton with 2 catches in his first game as a Philadelphia Eagle. First down. Keith Sherman gets by the wave and inside the Cowboy 40. Darren Smith brought him down, and Broderick Thompson helped clear the way for 19 yards.
Well, we saw it last time. Dallas has taken some chances in loading up the defensive front. They've got about everybody covered up here, and watch Heath Sherman just come through and take advantage of a nice block right here by Broderick Thompson, right on Charles Haley, turns him out, and that's the kind of thing. That's the kind of play that takes advantage of a fast defense. If you're worried about them going sideways, you punch them in the face.
And that's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Cowboys 3 and the Eagles 0. Jim Nantz and Randy Cross back at Veterans Stadium as we start the second quarter. Richie Kotite has to be pleased so far the way his team's playing.
Well, his offense is right now being very effective, running the ball like we keep mentioning, right at this Dallas defense. They're popping some big plays, and they've gotten some pretty good plays out of the quarterback position with O'Brien right now. But what they have to do is they have to get a big play. They have got to get a big play down the field.
First down from the Dallas 38. Sherman, who just ran for 19, this time loses a yard. Charles Haley ran right down the line with him.
Well, one thing you usually count on all-pro, Pro Bowl type players, when they get beat, they don't like it. And when they don't like it, they make big plays. And Broderick Thompson that time was beaten pretty badly by Charles Haley, took advantage of an inside move and just shucked Thompson downstairs and went after the running back. It's a good example of the typical Dallas defender is Charles Haley. A little undersized, very, very fast, and very strong.
2nd and 12. Here comes the blitz, and O'Brien fumbled it. Recovered by Russell Maryland. Dixon Edwards crushed Ken O'Brien, and the Eagles have turned it over.
Watch Heath Sherman get faked out. He loses Dixon Edwards in front of Anton Davis. Doesn't see him blitz inside. And that's how the sack happens. And what happens during the sack was Broderick Thompson was hit on the right knee, but walked off under his own power.
Ken O'Brien a little groggy also. Emmitt Smith twisting for almost 10 yards to the Dallas 43. Nate Newton helped blocking Up the middle for the Cowboys.
And a bad combination for the Philadelphia Eagles right here when you're talking about a quarterback in O'Brien that is a little unsure of the offense. When you mix in the fact that you're going to get his head scrambled a little bit with a clean hit sack like that, and you don't want that with your quarterback. They've got to get that protection tightened up.
Just shy of the first, 2nd down and 1. Smith again, 1st down. Smith is already over 80 yards in this first half.
Dallas is an offensive line as a group that just mans up and moves people and lets Emmitt Smith find the holes. Watch him glide. Now he sees the hole. Good block by Kevin Gogan. Working right there. Watch Gogan, the right guard. Little combination block. Gogan comes off on Byron Evans, and that is the block in the hole that Emmitt Smith, as he's gliding, sees and accelerates on.
1st down, they fake to Smith. Aikman out of the pocket, slides to the 29.
And if you're Philadelphia, you'll take that all day long. If you can cover the Dallas receivers down the field and get Troy Aikman out there running around, you like your chances of stopping this offense. When Aikman is dangerous is when Aikman's taken 3 steps or 5 steps and delivering the ball on time.
Passing-wise, Aikman's completed only 1 pass, and that ended up being fumbled, but recovered by the Cowboys, and he's been sacked twice, so they've lost yardage in the passing game. Running has certainly worked for him, but Emmitt Smith this time only for about 3. Wes Hopkins picked him up at the 27.
It's one of the dilemmas as a defense you face when you face the Dallas Cowboys, though. If people come in and say, hey, I'm going to stop the run, you're faced with Michael Irvin, you're faced with Alvin Harper and Novacek and Troy Aikman. If you come in and say, I'm going to take the pass away, well, all you've got to look at then is Johnston is a lead blocker, a big physical offensive line, and one of the best running backs in the last 5 to 10 years in Emmitt Smith running the ball.
O'Brien and Randall Cunningham talking. The Cowboys with a 3rd and 3 in Philly territory. 1st down. With his first catch.
And Michael Irvin here will be the inside receiver, and just watching that play, you get a good idea of the physical nature of a Michael Irvin. You know, I believe it's Elton John with the song I'm Still Standing. Well, that's sort of Michael Irvin's basic attitude about most offensive plays. You've got to take a heck of a shot on this big receiver to get him to the ground.
But he didn't look like he wanted to sing after that play.
But you know he's talking to somebody.
Looked like a pinball wizard the way that he bounced around a few people. But 1st down for the Cowboys. And Smith, a couple of Eagles come flying through in the head area, but Smith picks up about 4. Evans and Clyde Simmons on the hit. 10:50 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Dallas leading on a 35-yard field goal by Eddie Murray.
And here's the area on the first Dallas possession where the Philadelphia Eagles defense stiffened up not only pass-wise but run-wise and forced the Dallas Cowboys to kick a field goal. Here's the part of the field you think Jay Novacek.
2nd and 7. Thrown to Novacek, Randy. Right you are, but Jay says, hey, what's going on here?
Right now the Dallas passing game seems to be typified by the attitude or the body language of Jay Novacek, looking back to the officials like, hey, they're not supposed to hold us. How can they do that to us? We're the best passing offense in the league. Well, right now Philadelphia is treating them as just any old offense right now, and the key is they're being very, very aggressive with the receivers.
Eagles report that Broderick Thompson has been sent to the locker room to be fitted for a brace on that knee that was twisted, and Ken O'Brien banged his head but will return. 3rd and 7. Oh, what a catch by Novacek. William Thomas holding on, but a great grab by the tight end of the Cowboys.
If there's 2 receivers in this Dallas offense you've got to look at in the red zone against a team trying to take away your wide receivers, at your tight end, Jay Novacek, and your fullback, Johnston. And here's a ball thrown to Novacek, and he came from the right slot. Look at the coverage. Nice coverage by Thomas. But Novacek's a tight end with semi-wide receivers type abilities and great hands.
Graceful hands with that one. First down from outside of the 10. A little trick. And a treat on Halloween. Kevin Williams on the reverse.
And a wonderful call by Norv Turner and Jimmy Johnson of the Cowboys. You've got a defense playing your receivers aggressively. You have a defense attacking the run down in the red zone. What do? You let them attack the run inside, and you give it to a speedster on the outside like Williams. Look at Big Newton out there. Doesn't really matter that he gets a block, but he gets one.
That's the second time this year the rookie from Miami has scored on a reverse. Kevin Williams from 11 yards out, and it's 10-0 Dallas. Nice drive by the Cowboys, set up by the turnover. They lead 10-0.
And here comes Williams around this way, but watch Joyner. Goes inside, and when he goes inside, that collapses that side of the line. See Seth Joyner go inside. He does not have contain. There's no one back there. And all Nate Newton has to do is go 3 yards deep into the end zone to try to get his shot at Hopkins. Easy score for Williams.
Hop up on the kick. Hebron across the 20 and darts to the 28. Flag down. Tommy Agee took his legs away. Oh, this will back up the Eagles inside of their own 20.
It's a little illegal momentum builder with a help in the back with a hand.
Illegal block. Number 33, receiving team, doing the return. First down.
By the way, Broderick Thompson is on the field. He's returned to his left tackle spot. Starting to rain a little heavier. Dallas 10-0.
Sponsored by McDonald's.
Well, Emmitt Smith with 91 yards, and we're 5:30 into the second quarter. Set up for a huge afternoon.
And that sort of says it all about the weather. It's wet, it's windy, it's cold. And so far, the Philadelphia offense has not been able to move the ball down the field when it has to, and it has to now.
Heath Sherman to the 15. Dixon Edwards and Tony Casillas dragged them down after a gain of 3.
And this is a situation where the Philadelphia offense has to put a drive together. If not necessarily for points, they have to get out near midfield, because the last thing they want to do here, Jim, is go 3 and out, punt the ball, and give the ball back to the Dallas offense on, let's say, the 40-45 yard line, and only give Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith 60 yards to go.
It is 2nd and 7. Maurice Johnson, the second tight end, in motion, but it's Herschel Walker pounded after a 1-yard run. We've got an update on the 49ers, so let's send it up to New York and the Greg Gumbel. All right, Greg, and what did you think of T.J. Rubley taking over at quarterback for the Rams today?
Personally, I thought of, probably about 2 weeks. Two weeks late. I mean, Jim Everett has really struggled, and I think that whole team in L.A. needed something, needed a little jump start out of their quarterback position.
3rd and 7. The Eagles' new quarterback fires and has it batted down by Bill Bates. Bates cutting across the middle, knocked it down. And just as you were saying a moment ago, the one thing the Eagles do not want to do is go 3 downs and out, but they will.
Here's another opportunity for Williams to have a big play.
What a punt that is by Fiegels. A spiral all the way back to the 33. Stutter step move. Woo! You're reacting to some kind of block by James Washington. 52-yard punt, 9-yard run back. That was a bone-chilling block by James Washington.
Well, I guess the television sports business is kind of full of cliches, but that was the old, hey, rookie Marcus Thomas, keep the old taillight burning.
There is a flag down on the run back.
Personal foul Unnecessary roughness. Number 43, late hit.
Oh, they called a late hit against the Cowboys. Elvis Patterson.
But here's an early hit, and here's a big hit. Oh, it's Hebron, the other rookie running back. Hiya, caramba.
Boy,
I love that. Clean, solid, good wood.
It all starts next week, 12:30 Eastern, with the NFL Today. Dallas leads this game 10-0. On first down, Emmitt Smith in traffic, out to about the 30. Seth Joyner closing up the middle. 94 yards rushing for Emmitt Smith.
With the size of this offensive line, it's Halloween and everything else, and their specialty is sort of the monster mash. This is a line that just mashes on people. They get a hold of them, they don't let go, and they move them. You've got four mountains and kind of a molehill in the middle. Stepnoski doesn't look like he really belongs there size-wise.
Molehill. 2nd and 7, and it's Smith. Bounces into Harper, but all the way down to the Philadelphia 44. 26 yards and a pretty good block by the Molehill. Stepnoski to help clear him.
Well, they got the big guys, but in the guy inside, Stepnoski's a Pro Bowler with good technique, little combination block. Gets a good job on Jeter, and gee, guess where they run? Right behind Gogan and Stepnoski. And 5, 10, 15, heck, 15 yards down the field. Emmitt finally runs into his own guy, Alvin Harper, out there blocking for him.
Smith to the 40. He now has 124 yards rushing in this game. 20th career 100-yard effort.
And this tells you a lot about how the game plan is going about for Dallas. They're taking away the passing game, fine. Let's give the ball to Emmitt. And the Dallas defense, last year's #1 ranked group, knew it was going to face a lot of running from the Philadelphia Eagles, and so far Richie Kotite's run offense has not been effective.
100-yard rushing efforts in the regular season. Aikman comes back to the other side in the area of Novacek, and a flag thrown. Byron Evans putting pressure on Aikman. Legal receiver downfield.
A very nice job of the Philadelphia Eagles of pressuring Troy Aikman. The key on pass protection on a screen is you have to stop the defense to allow your quarterback time to throw, and no one even breathed on Byron Evans at times.
Ineligible receiver, downfield, number 53, offense. Still
They call
second
that
down.
one on Mark Stepnoski, so sometimes that speed and agility can work against you. That downfield a little early on that screen, but that was just an example of the timing of an offensive play being completely thrown off. The center is going to say 1,001, 1,002, and then he's going. Well, they needed to count about 1,003.5 to not be downfield on that last play.
Do you count 1,001, or is it 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi?
Well, 3 or 4 was my usual limit anyway. I had to go to the cliff notes after 5.
2nd and 11, and Aikman again with heavy pressure. They'll rule that incomplete. William Thomas really took a shot at Aikman, a clean shot.
And if you're Norv Turner, the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys, you're going to get your offensive line down on the sideline, and you're going to say, guys, we got to figure out this protection. We're picking things up on the inside, but everybody's got to know their responsibility. Watch Emmitt Smith move inside to pick up a linebacker, and there comes Thomas on the outside. Little confusion so far for the front and the protection guys of the Cowboys. There's Norv Turner on the left side of the screen with the glasses on. His name is constantly mentioned now. I guess when you're successful, when you're with a big team, they want to mention you as a head coach. But Richie Kotite right now is a head coach with a defensive coordinator, Bud Carson, with a plan.
Timeout, Dallas. Nantz and Randy Cross back on a chilly Halloween and autumn evening here in Philadelphia. The Cowboys lead 10-0. And your thoughts so far in this game?
So far, Dallas has sort of had its way running the ball. Philadelphia and their defensive coordinator, Bud Carson, has done a fine job of, I think, stifling really the pass offense of the Cowboys. But the Cowboys have said, fine, we're just going to run the ball at you. The key for the Philadelphia Eagles is they've got to get something out of their offense. Their offense has had some success, but it's been very, very limited. If the offense can't excite something and can't make something happen, the defense has to do something.
3rd and 11 from the Philly 45. Long downfield. Harper, the receiver. He caught it, but out of bounds. He'll make some acrobatic catches.
You couldn't ask for a better illustration of what people talk about, the tall wide receivers of Dallas working against cornerbacks. Now that is Smith. Smith is not a short cornerback, but both Harper and Irvin can really make cornerbacks look bad in jumping contests.
Had only 1 foot in. So Dale Hellestrae will snap at the John Jett. Fair catch called at the 20-yard line by Sikahema. Only a 24-yard punt. 5:26 remaining in the second quarter. Dallas on a field goal by Murray and a reverse for a touchdown by Williams. Actually not the kind of day you'll see an aerial showdown. Ken O'Brien is 4 out of 9 for 33 yards, and Aikman only 3 of 9 for 21. Kotite and the Eagles have it from their own 20, trailing 10-0.
And one of the things the Eagles have not had on a consistent basis is a solid running game and any kind of a big play down the field, which you have to look from the Philadelphia Eagles, and you have to wonder right now, they've got a weapon in tight end Mark Bavaro. So far, he's sort of MIA.
Walker. Herschel Walker across the 30, across the 40, and dragged down by Woodson at the 44.
Richie Kotite was quick to point something out about Herschel Walker 1993, and that's Herschel Walker is attacking the line of scrimmage. He's not looking, he's not dancing, he's going after it. Gets a good job up front by his offensive line, especially Mike Shad, and he just explodes into the defensive backfield. The Eagles have had several big running plays in this game so far, but they have not been able to follow them up effectively.
Walker again. And he fights to get back to the line of scrimmage. Darren Smith was there to meet him shortly after the handoff.
And as fast hitting and as quick as that a play ago was, that last one was just as slow. And that's an example of what you can't do against the Dallas Cowboy defense. You cannot go wide, dance, and think, because they will stuff you and swarm to the ball. I mean, look at that defense. Those aren't a bunch of big guys. I mean, every one of those guys can see every part of their shoe down below there. There's no guts or bellies hanging over their belts. I mean, these are real flat-belly defensive linemen.
2nd and 10. And James Lofton to the 46 of Dallas. Good for a first down.
Rich Kotite's got to be very happy with the acquisition of James Lofton. All he's done is come into this game and so far catch three balls for 31 yards, and this was an acrobatic effort. You saw him slip, start to fall, and somehow keep a handle on that ball. That's what the veteran leadership will give you. That's what Lofton can, O'Brien can. They can find ways to make things happen.
Back in Dallas territory, first down. 3-step drop. Calvin Williams gets in the catch column at the Dallas 38. And with 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the half, the Eagles are moving the football.
And what we're seeing here is patience on both sides of the ball. Philadelphia being patient to move it, and Dallas being patient to keep everything in front of them. Keep the offense in front of you and wait for them to make a mistake. That seems to be defense 93 in its signature. Just give it up, and wait for the other team to blow an assignment.
2nd down and 2. Bryan sidearmed it in the direction of Lofton. Well, the Giants lost to the Jets. So New York, the Giants, dropped to 5-2. The winner of this game will join the Giants atop the NFC East.
Not many other surprises. Miami, Joe Montana goes out with that hamstring re-injured in the second quarter. In Atlanta, up there against Tampa Bay, Sam White gets a big win against a team that proves once again that a losing team wins 2 in a row will find a way to return to their losing form.
3rd down and 2. Shuffle pass works for the second time. Heath Sherman with a first down for Philadelphia at the Dallas 29.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. A little shame on the Dallas defense. Another good job of selling by O'Brien, disguising by Heath Sherman, and a little grab by Hallstrom there on Kenny Norton trying to react to that shuffle pass.
Sound like a consumer reporter with all those shame on yous. First down, and Walker to the 28, and we've reached the 2-minute warning. Charles Haley stopped him for only a 1-yard gain. Dallas leading 10-0, but the Eagles are threatening.
Richie Kotite would settle for a well-placed pass here. This is the part of the field that Dallas got into last time they had the ball, where you talk about the tight end coming into the pass offense. With all these drop-off zones, people are playing in the red zone. That is the one person and that is the one weapon you have to be able to take advantage of.
2nd down and 8. Heath Sherman exploding near a first down. I think he has it at the 19. Ron Hallstrom set it up for him with a good block, and so did Mark Bavaro.
Well, okay, they didn't throw the ball to Bavaro, but the other thing he does better than probably anybody that's played a tight end position for the last 10 or 20 years is block, and you saw that block he got that sealed that corner off and enabled Sherman to get out there. There he is. That's a man of, to say Mark Bavaro is a man of few words might be a gross understatement. He speaks with that headgear.
First down with 1:50 to go in the half. Walker plunges to the 15 for about 4. The Eagles with all 3 of their timeouts.
Very nice job by Herschel of guarding that ball, making sure it cannot come loose. Little ball maintenance.
Coming up on the NFL Today halftime report, Greg and Terry with all the scores, highlights, and the latest information.
It is the same as what we mentioned earlier, is the short pass, the pass over the middle. Remember, the drop-off zones are reducing scoring in the red zones. Let's go after the tight end.
2nd down and 6. Eagles' deepest penetration of the day. That was thrown to Lofton, and he was bumped by Larry Brown. They got the interference call.
And you think Richie Kotite likes that? You saw his reaction, pumping those arms. That ball was in the air. That ball was thrown right at the pylon. And that was a good call.
24.
Because James Lofton was not allowed to run unimpeded to the ball. Watch it here. The initial part, I think, is good man coverage. The ball is now in the air. Here's Lofton going to the ball. The left arm is put on Lofton. That's an easy call. Brown never turns around, never looks at the ball. And of course he says, I didn't do it, but then again, I never held when I played in the league, so I can understand.
1st and goal from the 4. Heath Sherman for only a yard. Timeout quickly called by Kotite and the Eagles. 1 minute 30 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Nothing to score down here against this Dallas defense. Dallas has been stacking things inside here run-wise. You're going to have to throw the ball, and Philadelphia had the right idea with that quick fade. They tried to throw to Lofton.
The Dallas defense had given up only 1 touchdown in 11 quarters coming in. Add the first quarter to that, and now we're up to 12.
And this is a defense as undersized as they are. And you talk about them being a speed team and not a power team. When they get in the red zone, this defense of Dallas finds some way to swell up. They find some way to catch an attitude. And you know, you talk to Thomas Everett, their safety. He says, hey, look, we just start hitting better. We start thinking smarter, and we start moving faster to the ball.
2nd and goal from the 3. Play action. Over to Walker. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The Eagles within 3.
Richie says, yeah. And what's the yeah? A quick play action, a float in the flat. And Walker will not be stopped.
The Philadelphia Eagles just drove 80 yards in 11 plays. And a pass over to the former Cowboy, Herschel Walker, his first touchdown reception of the season, his 2nd overall, and Philadelphia now trails 10-7.
And the way Dallas was piled up, it was a great call by Zeke Batkowski, the quarterback's coach and offensive guru with the Philadelphia Eagles, and Richie Kotite and the entire staff taking advantage of an aggressive Dallas defense.
Kevin Williams and Kenneth Gant. Kick comes to Williams at the 8. He'll take the middle, now the left side. And out to the 30, setting up the Cowboys with a chance to do something here with their 2-minute offense.
We talk about the aggressive nature. Watch Herschel Walker take a counter step, then swing, but watch everybody sort of react defensively to what Herschel Walker does in the backfield. A counter step, everybody hops the other way. The difference is when Herschel's hopping, he knows where he's going. When Ken Norton hops, he gives up a step to Herschel Walker.
Clyde Simmons and the Eagles expect the Cowboys to do something here in the last 2 minutes, but not on that play. Byron Evans, Andy Harmon, they drop Emmitt Smith for about a 4-yard loss.
And Bud Carson defensively right now has the Dallas Cowboys on their heels. He is playing defense offensively. He is the one attacking. He is the one dictating to the #1 offense in the NFL. They're running the ball effectively. They had been running the ball effectively. They're very frustrated with the lack of passing.
With a 4-yard loss, Dallas now in no hurry. 2nd and 14. They go back to Smith, and he gets out to about the 36. 3rd and 4. And it doesn't appear the Cowboys will try to do anything else here before the half.
The most important thing I think the Cowboys have to do right now at this point is get their offensive coaches down to the locker room. Look at some of those snapshots, those Polaroids you always see them concentrating on, and figuring out what is stopping Jimmy Johnson's offense so effectively defensive standpoint for the Philadelphia Eagles. Johnson's passing game has been nil.
The Cowboys lead 10-7. That's the end of the first half with the score. Dallas 10, Philadelphia 7.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Honda, who now provides a driver's and a front passenger's airbag standard on every 1994 automobile. Rayovac Renewal, reusable alkaline power. Miller Lite, great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this? And by AT&T, we help put your world within reach.
Well, the Eagles and Cowboys playing for a first-place tie with the Giants. The winner will move into that tie with the Giants at 5-2. And Randy, in the first half, Ken O'Brien really started to get things going, especially late when he threw a touchdown. And people here in Philadelphia we're not so sure about O'Brien going into this game.
You know, don't bury these Eagles yet, really. Ken O'Brien just getting the handle really on the offense in that end of that second half, led that great drive. And defensively, you look at the stats that happened in that first half. They gave up a lot of yards on the running side of the ball to Emmitt Smith, but they sort of took the attitude that, hey, if you can't get good big plays on us passing, you can't beat us. And 10 yards passing for a Dallas offense, which came into this game #1 in the NFL, is just incredible.
Dallas scored its touchdown off of a fumble recovery that set it up. Maryland on the recovery, then a reverse for a touchdown by Kevin Williams. You see Aikman's numbers, his lowest output of the season.
And what Philadelphia has done is they've gotten very physical from a passing defense standpoint. They've blitzed Aikman, they've gotten his face, and on the outsides they've manned up Harper and Irvin, and they're rolling the safeties to the wide receivers and taking the wide receivers out of the pass offense.
Dallas with the football to start the second half. It's Kevin Williams from a yard out. Got room on the right side. And falls near the 30. Matt Barr says, wait a minute, I got the football. Bounced up with the football in his hand for a moment.
Everybody that plays football assumes they're going to be a starter. But, you know, special teams are very important. Let's keep an eye on Derek Oden here and see how his day is coming.
Ooh, Bill
Ouch.
Bates.
That's Billy Bates. He's only been playing special teams in the NFL for about 37 years. He's been there forever.
Emmitt Smith stacked up, maybe got a yard. Brett Hager, backup linebacker from the University of Texas, made the hit at the 30-yard line.
And to sort of back up what we were talking about earlier about, you know, Michael Irvin and the wide receivers of the Dallas Cowboys. Irvin has only had 2 balls even thrown in his direction so far today. He's a receiver that averages about 11 passes thrown to him a game. So, you know, keep an eye on Eric Allen. Keep an eye on Ben Smith and the job they're doing against these high-tech, high-powered wide receivers.
Saw Ben Smith, 2nd and 9, and a flag comes in. There was the 3rd pass attempt in the direction of Irvin today. He's caught 1. We talked to Michael last night. He really enjoys getting the football quickly in a game to get started.
Well, he wants it fast because he figures he knows then that he's in the plan for the entire game, and they've denied him the football.
Well, the Eagles jump.
Offside, 95, defense, still 2nd down.
You know, flag or not, that pass was batted down by Michael Irvin's abdominal muscles on that one. I mean, Aikman fired that ball out to him, and it bounced right off him. So far, these receivers for the Dallas Cowboys seem to be very frustrated. And if they're frustrated, Aikman can lose faith.
2nd and 4. Smith cuts to the outside, and Ben Smith made the play. Stopped him shy of the 1st. It'll be 3rd and short.
You know, something that Michael Irvin is very well known for. You talk about Bavaro being a good blocker. Michael Irvin's a good blocker. But he doesn't win this one. He drops off Ben Smith. Figures he's going after bigger fish downfield, and he was wrong because Smith was the one that tackles Emmitt.
3rd down and 2. Irvin averaging almost 8 catches a game. He has 1 thus far. Going to Irvin. And the pass deflected.
Got a flag down.
Flag is down. Ben Smith defending.
And I detect a little frustration from Michael Irvin at this point.
Well, that'll give the Cowboys a first down.
Holding, number 26, defense.
And that hold is on
First
Smith.
down.
And we'll take a look at how it happens. You know, hold or not, penalty or not, they're playing physical and they're frustrating Irvin. He is holding, grabbing the jersey. Nice defensive play after the hold. And Michael Irvin has just got that look like, what do I have to do? Where do I have to go?
Emmitt Smith into the middle of that defense. Hit first again by Hager. Gain of about 3.
Right for it, Fred Hager on the tackle. Emmitt Smith being 2. Dallas 44.
You see Emmitt Smith walk through that huddle. You can tell how easy it can be to lose Emmitt Smith in the jumble of the big bodies up front. You see his helmet, in some cases, barely reaches the shoulder pads of those offensive linemen in front of him. And that's an asset for Emmitt. He darts, he glides, and he goes behind that big wall.
2nd and 8. Across the middle. And Eric Allen defending Irvin this time. That was a catchable ball.
And how are things going for Michael Irvin? Working the other side now. He's away from Ben Smith. He's got Eric Allen. And Allen is an all-pro. He's a Pro Bowler. So is Irvin. But Irvin should have had that one. That coverage was not so tight that Irvin was prevented from catching that. That ball bounced right off his hands.
2 extra defensive backs in for the Eagles. 3rd down and 8 for the Cowboys. Long ball. Harper knocked down by Allen.
And it's Alvin Harper's turn on the outside to claim interference and complain. And Jimmy Johnson in the Dallas offense has seen a physical Philadelphia pass defense come in and continue shutting them down. Watch us at the end. What a nice job. Allen last time had Irvin, this time has Harper. Same result, the ball's on the ground.
John Jett. Good punt. Sikahema back to the 11. And a flag down as Sikahema runs it back to the 17. Elvis Patterson made the tackle, a 40-yard punt.
Well, some flags are dropped. That flag was launched. That thing carried about 20 yards in the air. There's Jimmy Johnson talking to his special teams coach, Joe Avanzano. You know, it's been mentioned before. We've got another conference going on. Little personal foul against the Cowboys. If you got a 40-second clock on the players, why can't you have a clock on the officials?
Well,
We have unsportsmanlike conduct, number 33 on Philadelphia, hitting the defender while he's out of bounds. That's a first down.
William Frizzell called for the back half of that penalty, so offsetting penalties. The Eagles will take over at their 17 with the Cowboys in front by 3. NFL today at 12:30. Upon further review, they backed up the Eagles, Randy Cross, to the 5-yard line. Had a personal foul against Elvis Patterson of Dallas, and then a personal foul against Frizzell, William Frizzell of the Eagles, blocking a guy out of bounds, and they stepped it off to the 5-yard line. Heath Sherman for 9.
Well, they might have stepped off the penalty, but Heath Sherman promptly steps it back in the other direction. Nice job by Hallstrom and Alexander up front. Look at the size of that hole, because Tolbert cannot get away from Anton Davis, and they just power the front 7 back 5-6 yards and just create a huge gash in the Dallas defense.
Good numbers for Sherman. He used the bye week to get his knee healthy. He had only carried it 3 times in the previous 2 games. Here he is again, this time Out to about the 18. That's good enough for a first down.
Yeah, Broderick Thompson pushing and shoving, but he's pushing and shoving the wrong guy because he's pushing and shoving the official, and he's hearing about it right now. Herschel Walker trying to get in between them. See the official telling Herschel, hey, you tell the big guy if he's going to yank and push and hit anybody, he hits me, he's out of here.
I think he was pointing toward the Philadelphia huddle, too, recommending that they go ahead and get back. Well, timeout called by the Eagles.
As Ken O'Brien trying to say, no, I wasn't asking for a timeout. I was asking if this would be a good time for a timeout. But maybe it'll be an opportunity for cooler heads to prevail with two longtime rivals sort of beating on each other.
I tell you what, they did not want that timeout, but they're charged with it. 10-7 Dallas.
And he kind of looks like, I'm going to clap my hands, I'm going to call a timeout. What is that? Well, Calvin Williams goes to the timeout, and that's why the Eagles got it. Couldn't tell who really wanted it, but one guy that definitely did not want it was Richie Kotite on the sidelines. He is not happy about that last timeout.
The Eagles trail 10-7 with 11 minutes to go, third quarter. First down and 10 from their own 18. Very emphatic play-action fake. Airing it out long for Lofton, and Lofton could never find it. Larry Brown was right with him.
And that was both offense and defense basically executing the proper way. The offense, a great play action fake, good protection up front, and nice coverage down the field by the Dallas Cowboys. And Ken O'Brien sort of punted that one up there. That had some good hang time. I think it was up there about 3.5 seconds.
Threw it long like another former number 7 quarterback for the Eagles, Ron Jaworski, who popped his head in here at halftime. And Edwards beats Walker at the line of scrimmage. Jaworski said, with all due respect to Roger Ruzek, it's nice to see a quarterback wearing my uniform number again. Ruzek had manned that uniform number for the last couple of years before being cut early in this season.
And as Dallas does their mass third down substitution, you talk about the guy wearing number 7. Well, here's a play for Ken O'Brien, 3rd and long. And here's where Dallas can take a shot. They can take a chance. They can bring a blitz after O'Brien.
Here they come on 3rd and 10. They pick up the blitz, but O'Brien throws it over to Jeff Feagles. Can't count that as a reception, can we?
Well, you can count that as a smart play because defensively everybody was covered, and James Washington was coming on the backside. His blitz was picked up onside. Edwards is coming from the outside. They picked that up, but downfield no one was open.
Threw it to the punter and said, here, it's your turn. And Feagles responds with a pretty good boot. Williams backtracks to the 36. And is walloped after a 2-yard run back. 45-yard punt. Eric McMillan on the special teams tackle first. Dallas will have the football for the second time in this half, clinging to a 10-7 lead. Well, a happy Halloween to all of you from chilly Philadelphia. Dallas with a 10-7 lead, first down. Smith. Rich Miano brought him down from behind.
That was another good job by Emmitt Smith of just sort of gliding, seeing what he had, and when he saw that soft corner, taking it. He got a good block on the outside by Michael Irvin, working against Eric Allen, just sort of shadows him there, keeps him on the outside. Smith goes out of bounds, but you know, Michael Irvin believes that his blocking sets up his pass receiver.
2nd and 3, Darrell Johnston. First carry and a lot of room for the fullback. The 43 of the Eagles.
And here's an example of, you know, let's just get at it. Let's go straight ahead and we'll fool him and not give it to Emmitt. Look at that whole left side. that whole left side was collapsed so well by Newton and Tuanay that Thomas, who was completely unblocked from the left linebacker's position, couldn't get down in time to make the tackle.
First down, the Philadelphia 43. Mike Flores, number 95. There he is. This is really a revamped defensive line for the Eagles. Tim Harris is out for a few more weeks with an elbow injury. Keith Millard's only seen action on a couple of plays today. Leonard Renfro is in, rookie first-rounder from Colorado.
And after the pass frustrations of the last possession, Dallas seems to be coming out here on this possession and saying we're going to hammer it till we feel the pass.
2nd and 8. Johnston to the 38. Andy Harmon, the first to get to the fullback.
Well, you know Dallas is getting back to the America's team tag again when they can play in Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia and have the home crowd cheering Moose when Johnston carries the ball.
Yeah, did you notice that? A really big response for Johnston.
And that response by Jimmy Johnson on the sidelines, Jim, says a lot too. He's a very worried head coach. He's not used to seeing this defense stop, or this offense stop down passing.
Millard in on that line. He jumped, and flags are everywhere. 3rd and less than 5 if the Eagles jumped.
And you know somebody admits guilt when in this situation the point drill doesn't start. The offense isn't pointing at the defense, and the defense isn't pointing at the offense.
You know, the 5-yard penalty, if it's against Philadelphia, would give Dallas a new set of downs.
Offside, defense, right side of the line.
Well, Millard was offside when he lined up, much less when he jumped off sides, and that'll set up first down, and this is the position that Millard comes out of the game, because now with his recently tweaked against the Giants in the first play of the game knee, they've got to use him more judiciously. They were using him on all 3 downs. Now he's got to be the rusher. They got to bring in the youngster Renfro in on the 1st and 2nd down and let him try to stop the run.
That penalty gives the Cowboys a first down at the Eagles 33. Russell Maryland, who has recovered a fumble, looking at some alignments. Aikman, only 10 yards passing. This a floater. Oh, that is caught by Irvin. He comes back for it. A 22-yard gain.
Well, this has been a great battle all day between Michael Irvin and Eric Allen, and you know, momentum and movement can be an interesting thing in sports, and watch the help that Michael Irvin gives to Eric Allen's momentum. Watch right there. Now that isn't a push off, that's more of a pull by. That's an arm over if you're a defensive lineman. That's borderline legal, but it was good for a catch.
Good for a first down at the 12. Smith, no gain. You remember what Michael Irvin said to us yesterday? A lot of times in football, it turns into basketball when they throw it. You have to learn how to box out, how to position yourself to be the one to grab the ball.
And that was a good example, and you could tell from that last catch he made, there's a little bounce back in the step of Michael Irvin. And here's a situation in the plus zone, in the red zone. Remember, they love to throw the ball up top in fade routes and let these big receivers go after it.
2nd down, 11. Aikman looks right, still looking, now running with it inside of the 10, and then driven back by Ben Smith. And Smith has a few words for the Cowboys quarterback.
And I guarantee you one thing, that's one quarterback he won't hear much talk out of. Troy Aikman's a class act who just sort of does his job right now better than anybody else in the league. And remember, Troy earlier in the year was suffering from a sore left wrist, a sore left shoulder, and some sore ribs on the left side of his body. And shots like that, helmets and shoulder pads right on the left side of that 8, is a good way, pads or not, rib pads or not, you can re-aggravate a sore rib injury with that kind of a hit.
Timeout called by the Cowboys. Cowboys use their first timeout of the second half. We have 5:18 remaining, third quarter, and the Cowboys lead 10-7.
And that was a nice job, that last play, Jim, by the corners again, Allen and Smith, of getting in the receiver's face and trailing him downfield, getting the help from the insides from the safeties. Aikman had nowhere to go. They had Novacek covered in the inside, and everybody else was basically blocking.
Cowboys, when they put the ball back into play, will have 3rd and 6. 3rd and 6 from the Philadelphia 9. The Cowboys lead on an Eddie Murray field goal from 35 yards, an 11-yard reverse for a touchdown by Kevin Williams, and then the Eagles before the half, with 1:30 to go before halftime, scored on a touchdown toss of 3 yards to Herschel Walker.
Jim, in this section of the field, with defenses today, you throw it in front of the defense, in front of the goal line, and let your receivers carry the ball across.
Aikman to Price, and not enough for the first. And Smith and Eric Allen on that side.
And once again, an offense gets into the plus territory, into the red zone, and can't get the ball into the end zone, can't get a first down. High tackle, shed Thomas off, but here comes Allen and here comes Ben Smith to deny Price the first down.
Eddie Murray with a 23-yard chip shot. Good. Dallas 13 and Philadelphia 7. Murray 2 for 2 today. Cowboys lead by 6.
About the defenses in the red zone. Watch with the motion. You have one receiver on this side of the field. Watch the umbrella, the fence built by the defense in front of the end zone, in front of the goal line. Troy Aikman has nowhere to throw because the defense keeps the receivers in front of them. And if you're going to score or you're going to get a first down, it's got to be done with a receiver catching the ball and carrying it over the goal line or the first down marker. Great job by Bud Carson's defense.
Eddie Murray's kick won't make it to the 10. Hebron slipped for a moment, gets out to the 31. Joe Fishback on the tackle. And next Saturday, as we see some players here skating on this slippery field, you'll see pirouetting and the finals in the pairs competition. Also the ladies technical program with Nancy Kerrigan. That's next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern time, from Hamar, Norway, the site of the upcoming Winter Olympics. You'll get a chance, Randy, if you watch, to see your pair's favorite, Natalie Mishkitanik and Artur Dimitriev.
I'll have the popcorn and the couch, and I'll be ready.
Now the Eagles trail by 6. And Sherman only for about 2. Ken Norton and Darren Smith, a couple of linebackers, made the tackle. What do you think of the move with Norton to middle linebacker for Dallas?
It's worked out great. I think strength-wise they give up something with Ken Norton in the middle because he's more of a sideline-to-sideline runner and not really a bulk guy. But what he really gives the Dallas Cowboys defensively is a leader in the middle, a stand-up guy, a guy that the other defenders can look at and know that he's sort of a rallying point, and especially when things aren't going well.
The Cowboys told us he gives us great leadership in that huddle. 2nd and 7. A lot of time for O'Brien. Jeffcoat gives chase, and there's Norton, comes up to make the play. Does not count as a sack because O'Brien actually gained 3 yards with it. So set up 3rd and about 4.
Well, there's not much else O'Brien could do about this because down the field there's good coverage, and Norton's downfield, and that's typical zone drop by a middle linebacker. He's working the middle of the field. He's looking for crossing receivers. There's no crossing receivers, and when he sees the quarterback move, he closes. You see him playing traffic cop. pointing directions and giving instructions.
3rd and 4 for the Eagles. Trying to run with it. Herschel Walker plows ahead to get it. 1st down, Philadelphia.
And we mentioned earlier, this Dallas defense, 1992's #1 defensive unit, has a little different personality and attitude this year. People are moving the ball on them, and it seems strange to see a team blasting away at Dallas like this with the run, with the big chunks, the way they're doing it. But watch how this defense plays team defense, how they react to the ball, and how they deny opportunities down the field, especially in the red zone.
1st down, Eagles from their 43. But it closes on him quickly. Kevin Smith made the first hit at the 45. Walker, who led the NFL in rushing in 1987 when he was a member of the Dallas Cowboys.
Now watch Herschel Walker. We talk about, 1, the speed of the Dallas defense, and 2, when you get the ball, you see something, go and get it. He's going. Now watch him stop. That's not getting it. If you got a chance, if you've got a hole, you better take it and run against this Dallas defense. He got 5 hats on him once he hesitated.
2nd and 7. 1:45 remaining 3rd quarter. Dallas leads 13-7. Flag thrown. Likely bringing this run back to Heath Sherman. He ran it for 16 yards.
You're going to get a hold inside on the offensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles. But still, again, Richie Kotite's offense is finding a way to gash this Dallas defense in the middle.
Holding. 72. Offense.
At the center, David Alexander.
And I know it was a penalty, and I know they're marching backwards, but this Philadelphia offense, as you see Alexander kind of smiling and laughing, joking back at the defense. What this does, though, is just reinforces with the Dallas Cowboys that, hey, guys, we will keep coming after you. We're going to keep popping things. We're going to keep slamming at you, and we're going to keep hitting you in the face.
2nd and 17. O'Brien releases it just in time. Lofton has the 1st down at the Dallas 40. There is a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. It was a 25-yard pass play to Lofton.
It's against Dallas. We got an offsides, lining up offsides on Jimmy Johnson's defense.
Offside. 24. Defense. Lining up in the neutral zone. It's declined.
Larry Brown, number 24, for lining up in the neutral zone, but 2 guys did a great job there. 1, James Lofton, of executing. Watch the zone defense. Here's a veteran finding that spot to drop in and making the catch. And 2, O'Brien, great job of standing in the pocket, taking a shot and getting the ball.
Heath Sherman, left tackle. Runs into Norton at the 35. We're in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. Eagles trail 13-7.
And they're putting together a drive here, much like the drive they put together at the end of the 1st half for their lone score. They're being very methodical. They're being very patient. In the drive in the 1st half, they outpatient Butch Davis and this Dallas defense. They just stayed patient and finally scored. The key is, do not try to make something happen just because nothing's there.
2nd and 6. Called by the Eagles. They're now left with only 1. They burned 2 here in this quarter. 17 seconds to go in the 3rd.
So, folks, these are 2 4-2 teams. Not 1 2-4 and 1 4-2. Philadelphia is not a bad football team.
2nd down, 6. Pitch. Walker with blockers in front. Backs it up to the 30 with a late flag.
And that flew in there from the point of attack, and Does not bode well when you have 3 different flags come in for the offense. Calling a clip / block below the waist. Little chop going on. Calvin Williams wants to know who it's on, and Herschel wants to know why I don't get the yards, and the group in stripes just want to know why.
There is no infraction on the play. The block was illegal.
Oh, the block became legal.
It wasn't a chop. It wasn't a clip. You know what? This is a case of, are you going to believe me or your lying eyes? Because none of these flags were really flags, and none of these penalties were really penalties, because nothing really happened on this play except for a well-executed run by Herschel Walker.
Well, there's a key play coming up. It'll be 3rd and less than a yard to go from the 30. James Joseph has joined the Eagles huddle. And Philadelphia will steal a few extra seconds, let the clock run out on the quarter, and they'll face a big play when we go to the final 15 minutes. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. Dallas 13, Philadelphia 7. Our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Dallas leading 13-7. The Cowboys and Eagles each 4-2 on the season. The winner will join the Giants atop the NFC East.
And right here, this big offensive line for Philadelphia has to assert itself. The way the Dallas Cowboys beat this running play by the Philadelphia Eagles is they get lower and they penetrate into the backfield.
3rd and 1. Sherman has it. And more. A run of 7 yards to the Dallas 23.
And a nice job. We talked about the Dallas defense has to get low, has to move. Watch the front for the Philadelphia Eagles. Nice trap block by Shad. Ken Norton cannot hit Heath Sherman until he's 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage.
First down, Eagles. Trying to drive for a touchdown and a go-ahead score. Sherman for 3. Godfrey Miles is in the game for Dallas. You see him standing up. His first action since the Super Bowl, when he tore up a ligament in a knee in a touchdown celebration, trying to catch teammate Jimmy Jones, who had recovered a fumble and run it back for a touchdown. That's some way to get knocked out and put in the rehab on your knee for 7 months.
That's never a problem an offensive lineman has, is celebrating after a touchdown. You do those vicariously.
2nd and 7. Straight ahead, Sherman to the 15. It'll be 3rd and about 2.
Well, you talked about the Dallas Cowboys earlier, that their offensive line kind of mashes stuff. Watch an Eagle mash. Alexander, Hallstrom, everybody. Watch Heath Sherman. Watch Alexander. The hole's there, the hole closes, but the whole pile keeps moving backwards.
Another key 3rd and short situation. 3rd and 2. Oh, and they're out of timeouts.
Wow. I mean, the first one was accidental, but to call 2 back-to-back on a drive like this is got to just make Richie Kotite wonder what in the heck is going on. Do I have the right guys on the field? What's the deal?
O'Brien uses their last timeout.
Sponsored by Miller Lite.
Emmitt Smith with his top rushing effort of the season. Aikman with only 35 yards passing. O'Brien with 81, as the drizzle has never stopped. And the Eagles are out of timeouts.
It's a tough situation for the Eagles to be in, but better your quarterback calls a timeout if he's not sure about the play or the personnel, then you run a bad play and maybe turn it over.
3rd and 2. Play action. And man was wide open. James Joseph was in the flat, maybe on his way to 6. Pass was thrown around the ankles.
Watch the play action fake. Norton, everyone bites. Wide open. Ball thrown low. And Ken O'Brien knows that was a golden opportunity to blow against the defending world champions. And now Dallas has to burn off a timeout because they had 12 players on the field.
We have 13 minutes remaining in this game, and there's only one timeout left for these clubs combined. Dallas has one in its pocket. And they had what looked like 12 players on the field once Jeffcoat ran out there. And with the confusion, they had to use a timeout. Smart timeout, though, instead of giving the Eagles a first down. Phoenix, by the way, 2 touchdowns today by Aeneas Williams, who grew up in New Orleans, in the city of New Orleans. And the Saints trail by 7.
Boy, those Saints are reeling right now, losing back-to-back games to Pittsburgh and Atlanta, and now being down to Phoenix. I mean, that might be kind of like that Tommy Morrison first-round knockout the other night. If they lose 3 in a row, that could be an organization and team in some serious trouble.
Here's Matt Barr from 33 yards. Kick is good. The Eagles are within a field goal. The Eagles get a field goal after keeping the ball for 12 plays. Dallas leads 13-10. Kevin Williams returning. And Hager forced them out of bounds.
The emotional barometer of these Dallas Cowboys for the last, let's say 6 weeks has been Charles Haley. Put his helmet through the wall in the locker room right before Emmitt Smith came back after that Buffalo game, and here he's giving Jimmy a little piece, and he's giving Joe Avanzano a little piece, and he's a guy that does not hesitate to voice his opinion and has taken on the quality and the role what he didn't have in San Francisco. Here in Dallas, he is a leader.
For about 2 yards. Byron Evans brought him down.
You know, 2 series ago when Dallas had the ball and were so thoroughly kind of frustrated by the pass defense of the Eagles, they came back on their last possession. They only threw 2 passes. And the last time they had the ball, they just pounded the ball down the field, decided to use the run. It'll be interesting to see if Ben Smith and McMillan can keep them from throwing to the receivers.
2nd and 7. Aikman. Irvin has it. Sliding catch for a first down at the 43.
Well, you remember earlier that the cornerbacks, Allen and Smith, were all over Irvin and Harper. Well, here they're soft. They're giving up yardage. And if you do this to Michael Irvin, you'll be in serious trouble, because Troy Aikman does not throw this ball so much to a specific spot as he just throws it out there and lets Irvin come back and slide underneath it.
Dallas first down with 11:30 remaining. Smith to the 47. 4 or 5 yards on that play.
And Philadelphia showing a much more aggressive look up front, and Dallas does a very good job of blocking up in the middle. Now look at the middle. There's Irvin. Remember what we said earlier. Irvin believes his blocking, his coming off the ball and hitting cornerbacks, sets up his pass receptions. He says these corners get tired of being beat on by a big wide receiver.
Looks like a penalty against the Cowboys.
Well, the right side started about 5 yards too early.
79, offense. Still 2nd down.
First penalty of the second half against the Cowboys.
Big Eric Williams and one of the members of the right side getting off the ball a little bit early. You got to check out the action that Eric Williams got going underneath that face mask. He's a little brisk. This is hardly the Ice Bowl in Green Bay, but Eric Williams says, hey, it's cold enough out here, I'm keeping my face covered up.
2nd and 10. Aikman. Harper was the intended target. Ben Smith caught up to him to make the defensive play. I thought for a moment there we might see a touchdown Dallas.
Alvin Harper accelerated and was wide open. And I got to tell you right now, folks, Mr. Smith is back. Here's a cornerback, suffered a devastating defensive injury to his knee, his anterior cruciate, had the closing ability, the snap, and the speed to break up that pass. That was a good pass by Troy Aikman. It was a good route by Harper, and it was a great play by Smith.
3rd down and 10. There's Harper. They go right back to him. Gets his neck twisted around. His first catch. And that gets the Cowboys to the 45 of Philadelphia. Good for a first down.
Yeah, we did the opener with Philadelphia and Phoenix, and when we did that game, Ben Smith mentioned that, you know, the problems I have are breaking on the ball, breaking to the tackle and the quick acceleration, and he shows none of those problems today. He is breaking to the ball just fine, and as you saw on that long pass, he is accelerating.
Emmitt Smith makes a couple of moves just to make 2 yards. Smith now with 154 yards in this game, which means the Eagles now have yielded the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th highest rushing efforts of this season in the NFL. Eric Pegram of the Falcons ran for 192. And then the next 3 all were against the Eagles. Tillman of the Giants, Brooks of the Redskins, and now Smith of the Cowboys.
But this Bud Carson defense has said, run if you will, but we're not going to let you beat us with a big long pass.
2nd and 8. And climbing high for the catch, Alvin Harper. High jump champ at the University of Tennessee, the SEC indoor high jump champion, and he launched high into the air for a 10-yard catch.
Having fast receivers, big plus. Having tall receivers, another big plus. Having fast, tall receivers that can jump is a plus not many defensive backs can overcome. Smith was there with good coverage, but Alvin Harper just went up about another half a body above everybody else for that ball.
8th play of this series for the Cowboys. Smith gets outside, look out, inside of the 20, and out of bounds at the 16. 15 yards for Emmitt Smith.
You want to talk about instincts and a running back that just feels something and go. Watch its acceleration. A slow draw. I got the corner, I'm going to take it. Wes Hopkins, no way. Thomas, no way. Miano has to get him 15 yards down the field before he can get him in his sights.
First down, Smith again. No gain that time. Clyde Simmons right with him. Bud Carson, the defensive coordinator of the Eagles.
And the architect of this game plan against the Dallas offense that I really like. I mean, Bud Carson's come in here. He's played physical outside pass defense. His team has given up yards on the ground, but they have frustrated Dallas. But to Dallas's credit, they have not gotten overly frustrated. They've remained composed and cool. And if Philadelphia makes a mistake here, if they miss a tackle, if they drop a coverage, if they miss a jam, Dallas will score.
2nd and 9. There'll be a procedure penalty against the Cowboys.
False start. 66. Offense. Still 2nd down.
And hey, when you got 325 pounds on the tip of your fingers and you want to get it moving, what do you think the chances are you're going to stop it once you twitch it? When that thing twitches at 325, it is going somewhere fast and heavy. And those are the kind of mistakes you didn't always see a Dallas team make last year in that championship season for Jimmy Johnson and the Cowboys. And It's just another sort of a character thing, something this team's going to have to overcome, because Richie Kotite's defense will be coming after Troy Aikman.
Second down, 14, 7 minutes remaining. Dallas leads by 3. Aikman. Rich Miano was in the area. There is heavy rain now.
It is pouring. Never really quite sure here in Philadelphia. Are they cheering for the defense or the rain? or is the answer yes? They like both.
Third down and 14. Say it's hard to complete any kind of lengthy pass when it's coming down like this deluge. So they'll run it with Smith. And he'll lose a yard as Clyde Simmons met him.
Both these defenses have bent and bent, but when they've got into the red zone, into that plus territory, they've both come up big.
Novacek on the hold.
The snap and the hold, a big factor here with this heavy rain.
41-yard try. Eddie Murray. Oh, it hit the crossbar and skipped over.
That was a 40-yard, 2-foot, and 9-inch kick that just hit on the right side of that crossbar. Watch the very end of this. Right here, whap, and flips. And here's how a coach dies slow. It's short, it's short, it's short. Ah, it's not.
Staying loose on the sideline, trying to get a good grip. Eagles trail by only 6. Touchdown at an extra point would win it.
And this is mind over matter weather right here. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter, because Ken O'Brien and this Eagles offense can't let the weather bother them. They've come back 3 times this year in the fourth quarter to win games, and this is their type of a finish. This plays into their personality.
Low kick, Sekahema. Boy, he's thankful that finally made its way across the goal line. So
that glided over the goal line, a little hydroplane.
Just like it hydroplaned over the crossbar a moment ago. Here's your lineup tonight on CBS. It begins with 60 Minutes. The Russian military takes Ed Bradley to a missile base where nuclear warheads are still aimed at the United States. 60 Minutes tonight. That's followed by Murder, She Wrote, and then it's the CBS Sunday night movie, No Child of Mine, starring Patty Duke, Tracy Nelson, and Susan Blakely. That's all tonight on CBS. First, though, high drama here at the Vet. Dallas leading 16-10. Sherman decides to run left with it. And Larry Brown met him at the line of scrimmage.
And this type of field position is the field position Philly's had all night long. Of their 8 possessions, 6 starts have been at their own 20 or less. I mean, this has been a tough go for Ken O'Brien in this offense, but the key for them right here is to just start getting first downs, build up confidence in their minds, and doubt in the Dallas defense mind.
Second down and 9. Fumble! Ball still free, and I think the Eagles have it. Mike Shadd recovered. Knocked loose by Haley.
And it is coming down harder and harder on this field. And Rich Kotite knows that when you get in these situations, the ball is wet. Ball maintenance is important. But one type of ball maintenance you can't anticipate is just a good defensive player like a Charles Haley beating his man on a pass rush, slamming an arm against the ball and popping it loose.
What kind of 3rd and 22 play do you have in a deluge? Almost picked off, intended for Calvin Williams. And Williams is stomping mad. He wanted the interference call against James Washington.
That's a nice call. It's a nice effort by the Philadelphia offense, but it was a very good job by Washington and the Dallas defense. That wasn't interference. That was a defensive play that was very well timed.
Eagles end over end, and the Cowboys let it go. Ooh, this pad the average. That is a 60-yard punt. The NFC East, the Giants, having lost today to the Jets, are now 5-2. The Cowboys and Eagles, the winner will join the Giants atop the division. Phoenix is now tied with the Saints in the fourth quarter, 17 all. And the Redskins have lost 5 straight. Will play at Buffalo tomorrow night.
And we talked to Mark Stepnoski, the center for the Cowboys, yesterday. He said, you know, after starting 0-2 and then getting off to a next couple of weeks good start, we said, well, maybe 13th or 14th week we can sneak up on first place. Jimmy Johnson and these Cowboys have a chance to be tied after tonight.
Emmitt Smith for about 6. Now remember, 4:30 and counting remaining in this game, and the Eagles cannot stop the clock. They've used all of their timeouts.
Yeah, this is going to be, subtle will not be the way you'll describe this possession for the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to get a little bit extra splits. They're going to just come off the ball. They will not burn that lone timeout you see left there. They're going to come off the ball. They're going to put their great big bodies on the Philadelphia defensive, tired, smaller bodies, and just push.
The Eagles cannot allow them to pick up first down. 2nd and 4. They have a first down and more. Goodbye, Emmitt Smith on the way. 62 yards to put the game away.
Well, we all knew it was the big bodies on the other bodies, and what you're going to see here is a hole created by a stunt in the middle. Harmon goes one way, Evans is blocked the other, and this isn't a big body. This is one of the little bodies, a guy that missed the first 2 games of the season, and with today's performance, you've got to put Emmitt Smith's name back up there as a possible rushing title running back.
Eddie Murray good, and Emmitt Smith has just set a new Dallas Cowboy rushing record. 237 yards on 30 carries, a Dallas Cowboy record. To go over 200 yards, 237 yards, a career high, furthermore, a Dallas Cowboy record. Tony Dorsett had the mark of 206 yards back in 1977.
And coming into this game, Emmitt was averaging 89 yards a game, and his quest to come back, that projected out to 1,200 and some odd yards, but right now Emmitt Smith is back in the chase, and these Cowboys have come up big in one of the biggest ways possible, and that's a fourth quarter snuffing of a big opponent. You get them down, you get an opportunity to get your opponent and put them out of the game, you do it.
Emmitt's previous high was 182 yards. He's blown by that, 55 yards on top of that today. Vaughn Hebron scoops it up. Bill Bates. He leads this team in special teams tackle, and he makes another one. Well, next week, the Giants and Dallas. It appears they'll be playing for first in the NFC East if we kiss this one off. Both teams will go in at 5-2. And the Giants lost earlier today to the New York Jets, and they squandered some opportunities near the goal line in that game. Ronnie Lott came up big for the Jets as they won that game 10-6. Eagles with no timeouts, driving rain, 3:30 remaining. And O'Brien and trouble, gets away from it. Victor Bailey out to the 33, the rookie from Missouri, with a play for 16 yards. His first catch, and really some of the first action of the day for Bailey.
You talk about that Giants-Dallas game. Remember, Giants went down to Dallas last year. No LT, no Sims, no a lot of things, and no organization really with Hanley as head coach. But now they've got Reeves, and they've got a chance to go down and get a little revenge against these Cowboys. And if they thought the Jets defense was tough today up to the Meadowlands, wait till they get a load of this Dallas defense with its speed and its aggressiveness.
Kenneth Gant made a great tackle on Herschel Walker. And the clock runs, 2nd down and 9. That'll stop it with 2:42 remaining. That was intended for Victor Bailey. Packers have won 3 straight. Tampa Bay gets its 2nd win as Craig Erickson was sharp today. By the way, in that Miami-Kansas City game, Harvey Williams of the Chiefs was carried off the field. It looked like a very serious injury, but the report now is very good. All kinds of movement now for Williams, but he will stay overnight in a Miami hospital just for precautionary reasons. 3rd and 9. And O'Brien launched it in the area of no Eagles.
Jimmy Johnson and the Dallas coaches are just screaming about the fact that that ball was dumped away. There was no one in the area. They were holding. Look at Johnson. He's soaking wet. He's still got the jacket undone. That is as close to disheveled as you'll generally see Jimmy Johnson. He's semi unzipped and thoroughly soaked.
4th down, 4th and 9. Ryan heaves it, and the ball was caught out of bounds by Michael Young. What an effort by Young, though. And they'll turn it over on downs to the Cowboys.
Great concentration by Young, looking back into the lights, into the rain, bending backwards. That's a catch.
Ooh, it is. And, well, slipped out of his hands, though, Randy. At the end.
It slips out after he hits the ground. That's marginal enough. I've got to agree with the official. The ball did seem to be sliding a little bit against his jersey, but great job of concentration and almost a fine effort.
Very close. So now 2:27 to go, and again the Eagles are out of timeouts. Dallas on its way to its 5th straight win, which will match Miami for the longest current win streak in the league.
Dallas in their kneel down on the ground formation.
And that'll run it up to the 2-minute warning. Guy says forget it, it's useless. You can't get any more soaked. Just put the umbrella away for another day.
You might need that on the way to the parking lot there, buddy. I mean,
I'd like to borrow it, I'll tell you that.
Exactly. I bet Jimmy'd like to borrow it right now. He's got the headset off, so now he's got nothing to protect him.
2-minute warning. Dallas 23, Philadelphia 10. The Cardinals. The rematch with the Eagles comes on a Monday night, December the 6th in Dallas.
If you hear a story that Jimmy Johnson is down with a bit of a cold next week, you'll know exactly why. He's got every general practitioner in America cringing right now. It's 40 degrees, it's windy, it's raining, and you know what? He's ahead and he doesn't care.
This game is presented by authority of the National Football League, and the CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the National Football League is prohibited. 3rd down, minute 15 to go. There's Emmitt Smith. What a day for him, setting the Cowboy record. Our thanks to our producer, Mark Wolf. This game directed by Mike Arnold. Coordinating producer of the NFL Today is Eric Mann. Directed by Larry Cavallina. Our associate producer is Lance Barrow out of Fort Worth, Texas. And our broadcast associate is Mark Dibbs. Senior producer of the NFL on CBS is Ed Gorin, and the executive in charge of production is Rick Gentile. 4th down, and look at Aikman and the Cowboys throwing to Harper, slicing into the middle for the first down, and they may not even have to snap it again. 18 yards for Harper.
That'll do it, and Jimmy Johnson's Cowboys come away from here with a 5-2 record, a chance to look forward to a big showdown with the Giants down in Dallas next Sunday. And this is a good win for the Dallas Cowboys. They brought a physical, fired-up Eagles team that brought their best here to the vet, and Dallas handled it and somehow managed to come out of here with a win. It wasn't pretty, but it was physical, and it was a W.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the game. The final score.
Well, the Eagles last week surrendered 210 rushing yards, or 2 weeks ago, their last game, 210 rushing yards to the Giants. Today, the Cowboys sting them for 272 rushing yards. On the play of Emmitt Smith primarily, riding off with a Dallas Cowboy rushing record.
2 weeks from today.
I think all you need to say is there's speed, there's class, there's 237 yards. Emmitt Smith is back. The Cowboys are the best team in the NFL right now. I don't care who you match them against. And the Giants, a surprise team of 93, has got its hands full when they come down to Dallas to visit the Dallas Cowboys.
How do you see that Giants-Cowboys game next week?
Well, you know, it's going to be a lot like this. I think the Giants have the capabilities defensively of giving Michael Irvin and Alvin Harper and Troy Aikman a bad time. I think if you're Dallas, you look at your films from this week and try to figure out how you prevent a defense from doing what the Eagles did today. The Eagles corners, Ben Smith, Eric Allen, took Irvin and Harper out of the game for the better part of the game and forced Dallas to run. Well, unfortunately for Philadelphia, plan A worked good and plan B wasn't a good idea because Emmitt Smith just crushed them.
Well, the final score here, Dallas 23, Philadelphia 10. For Randy Cross, Jim Nantz saying so long from the vet. Coming up next, back to Greg Gumbel in New York. Coming up in just a moment.